Ryan Coogler is one of the greatest directors that this world has ever seen. But then I started kind of seeing tweets demanding and saying that he needs to make LGBT aimed content. First of all, how you gonna tell this man what he needs to make?
Just somebody voguing would have been a very simple, easy ad. It would have taken nothing away from the film.
Hear me very clearly. I don't have a problem with inclusion, but forced inclusion, and it's just like, let me just throw this out there. Gay shit.
Where you at, Berto?
Ryan Coogler is getting canceled over this. Look like the goddamn movie theater duo of Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan been getting a lot of controversy as of late. I don't know what's going on. Make sure you guys tap into the Twitch streams so you never miss a live stream reaction. I love y'all, appreciate y'all. Come on, let's do it.
Sinners just won 4 Oscars, and all of a sudden, Ryan Coogler is receiving criticism for his lack of inclusion, while his politics and views on the LGBT+Q community have been put under a microscope.
Just somebody voguing would have been a very simple, easy ad. It would have taken nothing away from the film.
And Ryan Coogler himself,
bro, this is the exact thing. Oh, I can't wait to read the YouTube comments on this one, because people gonna say that I'm hateful and just because of what I'm about to say. But the one thing that I literally hate the most in like modern day television now is forced inclusion. Hear me very clearly. I don't have a problem with inclusion, but forced inclusion, like it literally has nothing to do with the plot, nothing to do with anything that's going on in the storyline, and it's just like, let me just throw this out there. Gay shit. It's like, okay. Again, I one of my favorite movies is Moonlight. The whole movie is about a nigga finding himself. He's gay. He's coming out the closet. He's trying to navigate gay representation, overly inclusive. Amazing movie. Amazing movie. You know what I'm saying? The whole plot revolves around his sexuality. Cool. But like when we are literally watching a movie about goddamn lions and dinosaurs. We're watching a movie about dinosaurs, people running away from dinosaurs, and you know, that's the plot. That's literally the plot. We gotta have a fucking gay sex scene out of nowhere. It's like, what? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And so people are mad at Ryan Coogler for not forcing inclusion in his movies? I don't understand.
On an Oscar for Best Screenplay, which is a monumental achievement for a black director telling an unapologetically black story. You would think this will be a moment of celebration, not just for the film or the cast, but for the culture as a whole. But instead, one viral tweet about a lack of inclusion, and suddenly the discourse around Sinners completely shifted.
This conversation is coming about after this black man won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. I don't like that. How it feels kind of like a backhanded, like, oh yeah, congratulations, this is a wonderful work. But no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works.
The focus was no longer celebratory or on the success or achievement of Sinners and Ryan Coogler, which kind of all highlights this crab in the barrel mentality that we've seen too many times.
Y'all do not want Ryan Coogler to tell y'all stories or to
Appreciate
represent
the follow.
y'all. Stop it. You just want to complain.
Where instead of just uplifting a win or celebrating somebody achieving something great, people start intentionally looking for reasons to not like them or to tear them down.
What we absolutely are not about to do is do this with the Ryan Coogler on this day, 2 days after he
welcome Bobby to the Where You At
history
family,
as
man.
only the second black man to win Best Original. We just not about to do this.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. The Sinners dance sequence in the movie is really only missing a voguer. It's definitely an oversight. I wonder, has anyone asked him about it? This was the first tweet that started the discourse about gay or queer.
Missing a voguer? What is that? I'm a little bit ignorant to what that is.
Representation in Sinners. I think it's worded interesting though, especially it's definitely an oversight part. There are a bunch of different cultures, subcultures, genres, subgenres in the black community, from music to dance to lifestyle, that were not represented in that specific moment, in that specific scene, which in my opinion is one of the greatest scenes in cinema history. It's my favorite, hands down. But I think anybody can say that about anything that they represent or love that's not represented represented in that moment in the film, right? There weren't tap dancers in there. If you're from the DMV, nobody was beating their feet in there. They didn't have hyphy dancing in there. Ryan Coogler is from Oakland. It's just so many people that weren't represented in that one specific moment in time in that scene, which makes sense because Ryan was telling a very specific story about a very specific moment in time and the through line just being black music or culture in that way. So of course it's not gonna represent everything. And I don't think Ryan Coogler has to represent every single thing in his films. No filmmaker, no white filmmaker is asked to represent every single thing. So it's definitely like an unfair suggestion or ask. But like I said, I don't think this one specific tweet was bad or offensive or anything like that. But of course, with 1 million views, it caused a ton of reactions and responses to it. And just from the comments under that tweet alone, you can kind of see the discourse. Why the fuck would they have a vulgar? They'll have to fix it when it comes to Broadway. They'll have to fix it. It's just really interesting. It's like a built-in entitlement that it has to be a certain way. When it doesn't, it's somebody else's vision. It can be however they want to make it. I was thinking it was missing a drag performance as well. Again, anybody that wasn't represented is going to feel like, oh, well, it can also include that, but it doesn't have to.
Somebody tweeted that the big dance sequence in Sinners should have included someone voguing. And that conversation turned into people critiquing Ryan Coogler and the lack of queerness in his films. And this critique has led to a lot of backlash, primarily people saying that it is not Coogler's responsibility to portray every black subculture in his films. And I find that critique actually kind of silly because in that dance sequence in particular, we saw so many different subcultures, so many different black subcultures that inserting queerness, which really, as that person initially tweeted, it's just somebody voguing, would have been a very simple, easy ad. It would have taken nothing away.
If you enjoy gaming content, horror games, puzzle games, and honestly, even if you don't like games, you just want to see me shit my pants, head over to my gaming channel, Berto Gaming. I ain't gonna lie, I've been having the most fun I've had in a long time creating content while playing these games. Me and my team have been going crazy, putting a lot of creative energy into these edits for the game. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, link to that will be in the description. That's Berto Gaming. Where you at, family? I love y'all so much. Now let's get back to the video. This is the thing though, I'm sure they've already put so much thought and, you know, preparation into the subcultures that they did pick. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure there's a long list of other ones that got left out. This is really one of them situations where you just can't make nobody happy, bro. Because if you would have included it, it would have been controversy. Oh, because what did I just got done saying? I probably, well, in Sinners specifically, in that specific scene, honestly, if they had a drag queen in that scene, I would have thought nothing of it. I would have thought nothing of it. I wouldn't have felt like it was forced because I felt like literally that overall scene was representing a bunch of different subcultures, a bunch of different vibes, a bunch of different situations. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. They're just putting another piece there. But I guarantee you there would have been somebody saying, oh, look, it's forced. They're trying to force what you call it, gay stuff into the movie. I don't think that would have been the case. But now that it's left out, everybody's mad. It's really one of those situations where it's like, you really just can't make everybody happy. And ultimately, you just got to do what you got to do, what you want to do. You know, if you're creative and you are in this space, it's like, just have fun, do what you want to do. But what I will say is stay true to what you want to do. Because I feel like there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of content that's coming out nowadays that is, I feel like there's a lot of content nowadays that's just being watered down with agendas. You know, let the content be the content. If it is your agenda to be inclusive, then do that. But if it was your agenda to make a story about X, Y, and Z, stick to the agenda. Stop having the higher ups try to make you be like, yo, I think that you should change X, Y, and Z just to be inclusive or just to appeal. And let's take it off the conversation of, you know, a sexuality. It's the same when it comes to like, I don't like when movies try to force, you know, being overly like, oh, let's be more black inclusive. Oh, let's be more Asian inclusive. Like, it's just like, just do what you were intended to do. If you got done and turned in the script with the intention for this to be like a great opportunity for Black representation, a great opportunity for Spanish representation, Asian representation, or the history on white people or in some shit. Like if that was the intention, then cool. But when y'all start, it like we could see from a mile away, because the story is going one way, and then it's just like this random left bomb of something that has nothing to do with the plot. We can see it every time.
From the film. And I really want people to sit with why they think Black queerness is not a canon event. Black queer people did not fall out of a coconut tree. And they for sure existed in 1930s Mississippi Delta.
But that tweet and the discourse around it really led to the next one, which I think was a lot more divisive. I would like to know Ryan Coogler's politics around queerness, though. He is a film director, just like any other film director, and he speaks through his art, through his medium. I've never heard this question or demand directed at Martin Scorsese or Steven Spielberg. They never asked Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Taylor Sheridan, or Steven Spielberg what their personal politics are and thoughts on gayness. But when it comes to a successful Black man from Richmond telling his stories, now this is needed. That is my point exactly. He's telling his stories from his life experience, the things he's been inspired by. The twins Smoke and Stack, I believe, were connected to his uncles or his aunts. It's just really weird that all of a sudden this is a problem that Ryan Coogler has to address, or it's taking Sinners down a peg because it didn't have this specific representation, when that wasn't the story it was telling.
A lot of people are highlighting how Ryan Coogler doesn't have a lot of queer representation in his work. I would like to draw our attention to something else, and that's the amount of vulnerability.
You know what's another like big thing that just needs to be addressed? Lack of inclusion doesn't mean you hate somebody, bro. Lack of inclusion doesn't mean like, because that's the narrative they're gonna point to next. Oh, he's racist, or oh, he doesn't like gay people because he's not doing X, Y, and Z. How about like that's just not what I'm trying to do. Like I don't got no problem with y'all. Like I'm not losing no sleep. I'm not thinking up and plotting on how to make y'all lives harder or nothing. Like I'm just minding my business. But some people take that as, oh no, you hate. You have hate in your heart because you're not going above and beyond for something that ain't got nothing to do with you. Because a straight man that is trying to tell his story, like, honestly, me saying he's a straight man has nothing to do with it. Just a human being that is trying to tell the story that he wants to tell. Because he didn't fit your agenda and your brain, he hates you. No, that is such a stupid mentality. Weirdo.
And relationship and closeness that we've seen between Black men, the affection that we've seen between Black men. I cannot, that has been sitting with me for these last couple of days. When you saw the way that they embraced each other when they won the awards, the way that they talked to each other when they're on the press junket before the movie was out, while the movie was in theaters, and during this awards campaign season, that you don't see a lot of Black men being vulnerable and open and embracing each other like that. And I would be remiss to not say, when we're having conversations about representation, particularly with queer folks, particularly with Black queer folks, you want to ensure that safety and representation are not mutually exclusive, meaning that they need to both exist at the same time, right? And one of the ways that we have to challenge homophobia in our communities is through addressing the way that men show up, addressing masculinity. We cannot create safe environments for representation to flourish if we're not challenging the way that men historically show up in our communities. We can't. It's also kind of unfair to put the onus on him to be the one to create spaces for queer representation if that's not a space or a community that he exists in. Now, I think there's an opportunity or for a conversation to say, like, can we platform more queer artists, whether that's actors or folks who work behind the scenes, writers, producers, cameramen, whatever the case may be. And it's also, who's to say that they haven't?
This is the thing though, and I'll say this. I feel like I'm all for that. But when we're talking about platforming and, giving opportunities to anybody, doesn't matter the color of your skin, doesn't matter, your background, doesn't matter your sexuality. When it comes to platforming, I don't think, and we're talking about entertainment here. We're talking about putting people in movies and, let's just keep it on the topic of acting, right? This really can go into any industry. But if you're not good at your job, and I listen very carefully to what I'm saying, because I already can feel the hate comments typing. Listen to what I'm saying. Doesn't matter what your sexuality is, doesn't matter what your skin color is, it doesn't matter what the hell you got going on. If you are not a good actor, I don't want you in my movie. If you're an amazing actor and you also happen to be gay, come act in my movie. And you fit the role. If you're an amazing actor and you happen to be white, black, Asian, and gay, and you fit the role, come act in my movie. But what I feel like is happening is people are trying to force the gay actor, force the, this representation actor, and they're not even a good actor. Listen, man, I already see the discourse because y'all not really hearing me though. I want more representation for all the things that need to be represented, sure. But can we just make sure it's, one, matches the plot of what we're going out to set, and two, can we make it good? Because it's like nobody's showing up in the movie theater and selling it out if the movie fucking sucks.
We don't know who's working behind the scenes as closely as we do who's on screen.
And again, I think these tweets come in directly after the biggest moment in a black director's life with this monumental film that kind of represented and put on for black culture as a whole. Feels kind of disingenuous, like people trying to purposely steal the spotlight or bring down the moment for Sinners, Ryan Coogler, and the cast.
What I struggle with is that this conversation is coming about after this black man won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay and has the most nominated movie in Oscar history. I don't like that. How it feels kind of like a backhanded, like, oh yeah, congratulations, this is a wonderful work, but no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works.
You have 14 years to express his concern, but did it on his biggest night. While it can be a valid concern that I don't care about, it's disingenuous due to the timing. Nah, I did it when Black Panther 2 came out as well. You're just a stranger looking for a moment of engagement on the timeline. Maybe specifically he did bring up this same question back then, but I don't think that's the case that anybody responding to this tweet with a confusion or question is looking for a moment. And this interaction had me die because I'm just so confused. Why? Y'all got Tyler Perry. Fuck you and Tyler Perry. But a lot of responses to that tweet were really interesting. People don't do this to any other demographic when they achieve great things. That is 100% facts. All of a sudden, when a black person achieves something, they're responsible or have to put the whole entire culture on their back or have all these demands placed on them for representation. But black males always need to be problematized. I wonder why.
Y'all do not want Ryan Coogler to tell y'all stories or to represent y'all. Stop it. No, you do not want that.
Wouldn't you want somebody that, can actually represent y'all in a way that is authentic too? Wouldn't y'all want the representation from somebody that is a part of that community? Again, y'all want to point the finger at the nigga that's living his life. There's probably some young director right now who fits the demographic of what y'all want, and he's working his ass off to make his dreams come true so he can be the representation that, y'all need. And I hope he makes it. I wish nothing but the best to that young person. But it's like, y'all want somebody, again, that is just living his truth and doing what he wants to do and is successful at it as a black man, and he's got to be crucified because he didn't pick that agenda. Y'all want to pick the agenda for him.
Want discourse. You just want to complain. You just want to say something on the motherfucking internet. Stop it. If y'all really cared that much about gay representation, y'all would not have let Noah's Ark movie flop. And that's all I'm gonna say.
And then people start going even deeper with it. Absence of queers and sinners is simply the average black heterosexual imagination of black history. I don't know how that statement even applies to anything. Sinners didn't say gay people or queerness didn't exist. It told a very streamlined story about I can't believe I'm even having to explain this. It told a very streamlined story about two brothers coming back to their hometown in the South from Chicago and trying to build something of their own in a racist Jim Crow time period. Not to mention, it's a fucking vampire movie. Can we relax? Despite that, black, trans, and queer are all up and through Reconstruction and post-Reconstruction history onward. The first trans woman to testify before Congress was a former slave. It's like he's making a completely separate argument, because who argued that any of that wasn't real or wasn't happening? It just wasn't a specific story being told. My brother in Christ, Sinners was not a historic reenactment of black history. It was a vampire movie. Facts. Y'all just need to be honest and say you're looking for a reason to tear down Ryan Coogler because he is a successful black man. Not only that, the dude is a black man, doesn't code switch, tells his stories, employs his people, is married to a beautiful black woman. So why are we nitpicking this man all of a sudden? Why are we judging Sinners for the things that it doesn't include instead of all the greatness that it is?
Much love,
I'm
Blood
gay,
Wolf.
and I
Much love,
genuinely enjoy seeing gay representation in the media, especially when it comes to black gays and black queer and black LGBT, LMNOP, all that. I genuinely love it. But what we not about to do, what we absolutely are not about to do, is do this with the Ryan Coogler on this day, 2 days after he made history as only the second black man to win Best Original. We just not about to do this.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler, to me, is one of the greatest directors and filmmakers and writers, whatever you want to call it, that this world has ever seen and the world is going to ever see. But then I started kind of seeing tweets or whatever you want to call it, where people are basically demanding and saying that, oh, he needs to make LGBT aimed content. First of all, how you gonna tell this man what he needs to make? I don't think that's how that works. The thought process of some of y'all, baby, I will never, ever, ever understand, because in what world does that make any sense that you're gonna try to force somebody to make anything for your liking? Is you cool?
Y'all do this thing where a black person makes it, achieving a new height of success. You throw every single issue affecting black people on their shoulders, then criticize them for not solving or addressing it all. Stop it.
And then the silly motherfucker that does try to address it and solve it all, and when they fumble, y'all be like, oh, look at him, he's a sellout. He sold out to the industry trying to do some woke shit, and he's lame for that. Again, let this just be a perfect example of just be yourself, man. Be in your truth. Whatever it is you do, whatever it is you believe in, whatever it is you move, just be a good person, be respectful, don't disrespect nobody. There's no reason for you to disrespect. You can get anywhere you want in life and achieve anything you want in life without, shitting on other people to do it. I promise you. I promise you. You don't, I know the world will try to make you into a cold person, but listen, man. You don't have to tear other people down to make it to the top. You don't. And honestly, the more and more the way the world is now, with the way the internet is and opening up in media, you actually have a lot more control of your destiny than you think. So there's no reason for us to have to be tearing each other down just because they not fitting the agenda that you want. If you want it so goddamn bad, you go out and do it.
Where you at,